Good morning, students. Today we are going to see electoral process further remaining part. Now, process of elections. Last time we have seen the functions. Today we are going to see the process of elections. Establishment of constituencies. Next, finalizing voters list. Then, nomination of candidates and scrutiny of their nomination forms. Then election campaign, then actual voting, counting of votes, results of election, and last, resolution of disputes regarding elections. This full process of election is handled by election commission. Next, we are going to see restructuring of the constituency. Now the total number of members in Lok Sabha is 543. Now, how are these members elected? Every member represents one constituency. It means there are 543 constituencies of Lok Sabha. Creating constituencies is the responsibility of the Delimitation Commission of Election Commission. The Delimitation Commission does not succumb to any pressure while restructuring the constituencies. Next, we are going to see what is a code of conduct. Now, the code of conduct means the rules that are to be followed by the government, political parties, and voters before and during election. It is the responsibility of the Election Commission to conduct free and fair elections in a free environment. To stop the malpractices during elections, a model code of conduct is used. Its strict implementation gives a sense of relief to the common man. Code of conduct is applied for government, political parties, candidates, and voters, again before and during elections. So even the government cannot break these rules. So due to this strict observance of the code of conduct, in the last few elections the common voters have become very much confident. Next we are going to see no, before that we'll take the example of code of conduct. Politicians should not make hate speeches putting one community against another or make promises about new projects that may sway a voter. Next we are going to see the challenges in conducting free and fair elections. Now, large geographical landscape and larger population, that is number of voter, is huge challenge while conducting election, especially in India. Next, misuse of money. Now, misuse of money takes place to a great extent during the elections, and the Election Commission has to take several measures to stop such a misuse of money. That is why we have to follow the code of conduct. Next, prohibiting candidates with a criminal background from contesting. Now, many political parties give election tickets to the candidate with the criminal background. We are knowing in our area also many candidates may be criminal, we don't know. This results not only in criminalization of politics, but election commission also faces problem in ensuring that elections are conducted in free environment. Next is violence which erupts during election. Now another major challenge is violence during election. The extent of violence has increased significantly during elections. All political parties should help the election commission to control this violence. Now this violence, what example we can give, that sometimes candidates may take senior and illiterate citizens to the voting poll or booth and take their votes forcefully to themselves. So this is one type of malpractices or violence of the rules. uh, or one more example we can take, that in remote places still candidates distributes essential things or money to the poor people so they can go and vote to that particular candidate only. Next we are going to see, that is, the practice of family monopoly poses a great challenge. Now to retain or continuing influence on politics, leaders give election tickets to their own relatives. It may, we can see in Maharashtra also many families that relatives of each others, they are in the politics. The practice creates a family monopoly in the politics. So it should not happen, but it happens in India. Next we are going to see last point, that is electoral reforms. Now election is a continuous process and the future of democracy depends on elections. Electoral process becomes reliable if election process gets improved, and some reforms are suggested here. Now what will be the its effects according to you? Now we are going to see that. Before that, to maintain the future and credibility of democracy, it is necessary to bring about new improvements. Every now and then we should improve ourselves, we should improve the democracy also in such a manner. Next, it is necessary to rectify the shortcomings and the faults in the election process so we can go ahead with the development. Now which improvements required in our electoral reform means election? First, that is to increase the participation of women in the politics. 50% should be given to women candidates by every political party. Now we are also seeing many women are leaders in particular areas. Second, election tickets should not be given to the candidates with criminal background. Now this thing should be stopped. We should not give any ticket to the candidate who is having criminal background. We should ban that. Next, to stop misuse of money, the government should take care of election expenses. Now in the election time, government is giving funds to the candidates. How that candidates should use that fund properly to whatever required for that only. They should not misuse that money. Next, laws and regulations should be followed strictly by the parties before and during the election to amend the Representation of the People's Act. Now here we are seeing in this picture ballot box and EVM machine. Now still you can see in the textbook on page number 79, journey from ballot boxes to EVM machines. Now the first election in independent India was held in 1951-52, and this was the beginning of shaping of democracy through the electoral politics. Battery. Now, the use of EVM machines started from the decade of 1990s, and many things could be achieved because of voting machine. If the voters do not want to vote for any candidate, they could choose an option of none of the above, that is nota, and this opinion can be given only because of voting machine. It has become easy for disabled people, that is divyang, to vote. It reduced the cutting of trees for paper and thereby helped in the protection of environment and nature. It has also been possible to have an early declaration of election results. So now here we can see the advantages of EVM machine. What are the advantages? It saves the tons of paper, and helping to conserve the nature. Then it makes the counting of votes much faster and in a short time, and it is helpful and specially challenge people, that is divyang, to cast vote. They can also cast the vote. These are advantages of EVM machines. So but still we are seeing in India many political parties, they are supporting EVM machines, and many parties they are supporting to the ballot box. This fight still going between many biggest parties. So it is up to the government now. Government should decide whether the ballot box is right or EVM machine is right. Hope you have understood the electoral reforms. Thank you, children. And homework for you, that you should solve. You should read the lesson and solve question number 1, 2, 3 and 4. They are objective types of questions. And last question, answer in brief. I will we will solve next time question 5. Thank you, children.